When we talk about AI, it feels like the conversation always lands on one thing, right? Jobs. It's this huge fear. But what if we're asking the completely wrong question? What if AI isn't about threatening our careers at all, but instead it's, I don't know, a catalyst? Something pushing us into the next phase of human evolution? That's the idea we're going to dig into today. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off and reframe this whole thing from the get-go. The question we're all programmed to ask is, will AI take my job? And you can feel it, right? That question comes from a place of fear, of scarcity. But what if we flipped it? What if we started asking, what is AI freeing me for? See the difference? That's a shift from seeing a threat to seeing, well, a massive opportunity. Okay, to really get on board with this new way of thinking, we have to be super clear about what we're actually talking about. Because the fear, the anxiety, it's not actually about losing work. We love to work. No, the fear is about losing the job. The whole system, the whole contract we've built to survive. So, let's break down the difference. All right, first up, work. I'm talking about the pure act of doing something. As people, we're just wired this way. We have this deep need to, apply ourselves, to get good at stuff, to feel like we're contributing. That feeling when you're totally in the zone, in a state of flow, that's work. And honestly, we love it. It's a core part of what makes us feel human. Now, the job, that's a totally different beast. That's the system we invented to wrap around the idea of work. It's the social contract, right? You do this for 8 hours a day, and in return, we make sure you can pay your rent and buy groceries. It's the whole world of bosses, schedules, paychecks. So you see, work is the drive, the job is the deal we made to survive. Not the same thing at all. And this leads us right into what you could call the trap of utility. For centuries, a person's value, your worth, has been tied directly to how useful you are to the big economic machine. Are you a good cog? Can you turn that screw? And now, here comes AI, and it's threatening to make all of our cog-like skills totally obsolete. And that feels terrifying because it attacks not just our survival, but our very sense of worth. Okay, so to really see where this is all headed, we need a really powerful analogy. And honestly, the best one out there is the most incredible, complex system we know of, our own bodies. Seriously, it holds a huge secret about what automation is really for. Just stop and think about this for a second. You aren't consciously working to make your heart beat, are you? You're not thinking, okay, digest that lunch now, or, hey, body, maybe get a little warmer. Nope, your autonomic nervous system just handles all of it. It's running the show in the background. It's probably the most advanced automation system we know of, and it's humming along inside you this very moment. And that automation gives us this incredible gift. You could call it a cognitive dividend, because your conscious brain isn't bogged down with the minute-to-minute grind of just keeping you alive. It's free. It's free to do other things, like think about the meaning of life, create breathtaking art, form communities, discover science, fall in love. Literally everything we think of as the peak of human experience only exists because the boring stuff is automated. So, to put it really simply, biology automated the body to create the mind. I mean, think about that. That's an evolutionary upgrade of epic proportions. Now hold that thought, because that exact same principle, well, we can apply it to our entire civilization. So, if biology automated the body to create the mind, what happens when AI automates civilization? What is it freeing us up to create? See, it suggests that maybe, just maybe, AI is playing a similar role, but on a massive societal scale. And this brings us to the absolute core idea here. The big concept is that AI is becoming something like a planetary scale cognitive autonomic system. It's like a brand new nervous system for our whole civilization. And just like your body's system, AI is starting to take over all those essential but, background processes for society. Think about it. Global logistics, supply chains, just handling themselves in real time. Synthesizing mountains of medical data in the blink of an eye. It's basically taking the heartbeat of civilization and moving it into the background, so we don't have to stress about it constantly. Now, the fallout from this isn't just about the economy or jobs. It's way deeper. It's psychological. If you automate the basic survival needs for an entire species, well, that could change our collective state of mind in a way we can barely imagine. Just look at the contrast here. Right now, you could argue our entire civilization runs on autonomic conflict. We're stuck in this constant threat detection mode. Everything is about scarcity, fear, reacting on instinct.
But what if this new system, this AI, could provide enough baseline security to shift us, to move us into a state of somatic peace, a state where we can act with conscious presence, with real choice, maybe even with collective empathy?
And this isn't just some abstract philosophical rambling. Think about so many of our worst problems: racism, war, xenophobia. You can see them as symptoms of a society that is just collectively hypervigilant. It's the ugly stuff that happens when a whole species feels like it's locked in a constant survival mode, where every other feels like a potential threat. It's almost like we have a national amygdala. That's the fear center of your brain, right? It's the threat response part of our collective consciousness. And what does it do? It makes us pour insane amounts of resources, trillions of dollars, into things like massive military budgets instead of social reasoning and progress. Our collective nervous system is basically stuck in fight or flight. And just maybe, AI could be the thing that finally helps calm it down. So, the big question. If AI is automating the how of our survival, then what's left for us? And this, for me, is the most exciting part of this whole idea. The answer is we aren't being replaced. We're getting a promotion. I mean, if you look back, our primary job as a species has always been evolving. We started with pure manual labor, just focusing on physical survival. Then we leveled up to information processing for, let's call it, cognitive survival. And now, AI is pushing us to the next level, existential design. Our primary value is no longer about the how, it's about the why. It's about our intent, our purpose, our ethics. This is the punchline, right here. You aren't being fired, you're being promoted. AI isn't kicking humanity out of the driver's seat, it's taking over the engine maintenance so that we can actually decide where we want to go. It's freeing us from being just cogs in the machine and inviting us to finally be the architects. And this quote just nails it perfectly. AI is not the end of work. We're never going to stop working because, like we said, we love to work. It's the end of work as a requirement for existence. The goal is to finally separate that wonderful human drive to create from the brutal, desperate need to do it just to stay alive. AI gives us the chance to make work a true choice, a pure expression of who we are. And so, here we are, left with the biggest question of all. For our entire history, we've been obsessed with how. How do we find food? How do we build things? How do we survive? But as AI gets better and better at solving for how, we, humanity, are left staring at the most important question we've ever had to answer, for ourselves and for our species. So, what's our why?